answering burning Google Ads questions that came to my Udemy Google Ads course for 2024, and there are 226 reviews. So let's answer some of them. First one goes, Jim, do you have a link or video tutorial on campaign strategy for your own home service brand and also a campaign on competitor strategy? You talked about these strategies in the beginning, so I was hoping to see a tutorial on the strategy. Thank you in advance and advise any information. You want to first do a keyword research. Every campaign build starts with a keyword research. You have to look at the variations of the keywords that you're targeting. Let's say you have multiple services in the home service brand, right? Let's say you do cleaning, roofing. Ideally, what I would like to do is set up separate campaigns for each service so you track how much you spend on each service. Or you can create one campaign, which I don't really suggest, but I've seen some marketers do it, and then have ad groups for each services. Then most of the search volume will dictate how much you spend on each service. When it comes to competitor strategy, guys, if you do not have enough budget, I don't recommend running a competitor campaign. How can you start to implement a competitor strategy? I will definitely look at my search impression share with the current budget. Let's say you only have $10 a day to spend on your whole thing. You're not going to have a competitor campaign. It doesn't make sense. Your competitor campaigns will have a higher cost per lead than your normal campaigns, your branded campaigns. That's why I don't really introduce it. But if I see I'm using phrase match, for instance, let's say, and my search impression share is around 80%, 90% on my prospecting, let's say cleaning keywords. If that's the case, I will look into expanding my reach by targeting my competitor. We got a question from Alexi. It came 2 days ago. Hi, Jim. A question about Google Display. That's a good question. I don't get a lot of Google Display ads questions. If my goal is leads, not sales, and I'm choosing remarketing campaign, then what should be my bidding strategy? I want to target people who visit my website and didn't visit my thank you page. What is the best bidding strategy, CPA or CPC? That is a good question, little advanced question. If you're new to Google Ads, you probably will get confused when it comes to this, because the whole purpose of remarketing, guys, is for sales. I really do not suggest doing remarketing if your goal is not sales. Why would you do a remarketing campaign on display ads if you don't want to show your ads to them again to get them buy your stuff? That's the whole goal. But if you do not really care about sales, I suggest you expand your targeting, show your ads to more people. But if your goal is to get to people's faces and they remember you constantly, and then they go into your brick and mortar store and buy from you in that manner, that's a different strategy. Let's cover that one. If that's your goal, your bidding strategy should be CPC, and you want to set your CPC super low so you don't really overbid, because your goal is not sales through Google Ads. So you don't really care where do they see your ads, right? Let's say you show your ads on BBC as a Google Display Network, that will cost you a lot. But if you show your ads on like a really random app, it won't cost you a lot. Hope that answers your question. We got a question from Stefani Morales. He asked this question 11 days ago. Which conversion tracking should we use? Hey Jim, how are you? I have a question regarding conversion tracking. In your training, you showed how to add conversion tracking in order to run a campaign. But then for shopping campaigns, you showed how to connect the boutique to GA4 and then get conversion results from GA4 to Google Ads account. So my question is, which one of the methods should we use, or should we use both? And if you do both, is there a risk to add two conversion counted instead of one? That's a really good question. And this is, I would say, intermediate level question. The reason being is everybody should know, if you're running your Google Ads, how to track your stuff without tracking, because this is beginner level. But it is a hard thing to do tracking. Some agencies, guys, there's like separate tracking departments that business analysts, they do the tracking alone, right? They, like the people who run the ads, some of them don't know how to track ads, even though the senior ones. So it is like an intermediate or advanced-ish question. So the feedback I need from you is, do you use Shopify? If you use Shopify, you will be able to track everything in GA4 by just connecting your Google Analytics in your Shopify. And then you can import those goals from Google Analytics to Google Ads. So that is the easiest way, I know. But if you don't want to do that, you have to use data layers in Google Tag Manager to push those data. Hope this answers your question. And yes, if you do both of them in Google Ads, if you import and set up separately, you will double track them. We got a question from Jesse. Daily budget or number of days? That's a good question. I know where it's going to go. Hi, say I have $100 to spend total on ads. Is it better to have a higher daily budget or fewer days for the ads to be shown, or vice versa? How about $500? Is it the same? So that's a good question. People have arbitrary numbers, like the optimal number is $15 a day, 25, 35. There's no such a thing. It all comes down to clicks. You need click data, then which click data is going to convert to conversion data, right? So the number of days doesn't matter, but what matters is the number of clicks. Let's say you have $10 a day and you're going to spend $100 in total, right? What is going to happen with $10 a day? Let's say you pay $1 per click. You're going to end up getting those clicks every day. You $10 a day, 10 clicks a day, right? So to get 100 clicks, you're going to have to run those ads 100 days. That is the basic math. If you spend $500 a day, let's say, you're going to get 500 clicks. So you're going to get more data in one day than 100 days. So the only thing that matters is the conversion data and the clicks, number of clicks, not the budget that you have. So coming to your question, what about 500? Is the same? I don't really get the last part of this, but is it better to have a higher daily budget and fewer days? So I don't really suggest, if you're starting off, ad scheduling. The only exception would be, let's say you're getting call only ads and you can only service people 9 to 5. That's the only exception. Or you like literally call them back when they become a lead. Then you have to allocate the ads on the days that you are actively can call them back. But if it's like a conversion based, let's say purchase data or something, you just want to run them like completely all on and run it on all days, because it seems like you don't have enough data to make decisions to run them on certain days. That's why I don't suggest running them on certain days, which is called day parting, ad scheduling on certain days. I don't really suggest that. Just run the ads for a while, get some conversions, get some clicks. As I said, it doesn't matter or how much you run, how much you spend. It matters is how many clicks you get. So if you want to make a decision in, let's say, 10 days, you're not going to be making a decision in 10 days if you spend $5 or $10 a day. But if you're spending $200 a day, you will be able to make a decision in 5 days. The only thing is how much clicks that you get in a certain period of time. I hope it answers your question. A question from Hendrik. Purchase Google Ads account. That is an interesting one. Sorry, I did not know where to put this question. I have done a bit of research and there are countless services which promise to sell you AdWords accounts to use or access. However, I get that feeling that they're 99% scam. Do you have any experience with purchasing accounts online? And how do you go about trying to develop a net of accounts over time? That is interesting. I don't know why they do it. Is it like flipping? I don't know. Just Hendrik, if you know, like if you have some information, please drop down below. I know people buy personal profiles on Facebook because Facebook ad bans are like really a big problem. So if they ban your ad account, business profile, business account, business manager, you have to if you open another business manager account, it is connected to your personal profile, and they track you and they ban your ad account or restrict your advertising because you are using, interfering with their systems and processes. That is one reason people buy Facebook page profiles. It is a legit thing, but I do not have a thing with Google Ads accounts because I've been creating Google Ads accounts from different profiles for a long time and I haven't come across this issue. I don't know why you want to do that. Just drop down a comment below so I can answer. We got another question from Jesse. Jesse is actually one of my students who's really engaged. And Jesse, thank you for those questions. I'm not going to answer those in Udemy, but drop it down under YouTube and I will answer it here. Hi, a bit confused about phrase match, exact match, and use of quotation marks and space brackets. you used quotes for phrase match and brackets for exact match. So this is absolutely necessary. Yes, it is. That's how Google works. I'm not just sure how quotes are tied to phrase match or brackets to exact match. From seeing more of your video, it seems that selecting either one of those options from the dropdown is the same as putting either quotes or brackets. I'm not sure. Exactly right. Yeah, that is. There are two ways to do it. You can use quotes or brackets, or use the dropdown. It is exactly the same. So what if I choose exact match, but then I use quotes? So it is not gonna work. So it is gonna mess things up. Don't do it. I'm also wondering what site links and callout extensions are. You mentioned them in your videos. Thanks. So site links are things like this that you can see on the screen right now. People click and Google says it increases your click-through rate. But if you just build a separate landing page and the only page is to convert them on this page, I don't suggest you use site links, because this just gonna drive irrelevant traffic to others about us, contact us, who are we, what are we, blah blah, like the bullshit stuff. So that is gonna decrease your conversion rate, but it is gonna increase your click-through rate. But let's say you're using a big store that has like a proper site mapping, then you should definitely use, and if you're on e-commerce, you should 100% use site links. That is going to increase your click-through rate. Call-out extensions, there's stuff like this, as you can see on the screen, they increase your click-through rate as well. So you put extra unique selling proposition about your business and service. So that helps you a lot as well. Hope this was clear. Guys, if you have any questions, go to my Udemy and get one of those courses, or drop your questions down below and I'll put the link for that Udemy course as well. And see you in the next one.